Hello, everyone. Welcome to part 3 of our series on Flyout. What we're going to be doing today is we're going to be taking my Failliner and we're going to be converting it into a fail bomber, which should be pretty amusing for us. So that should be kind of fun. So what our goal here is today is to basically take this aircraft, which is pretty good, and we're going to make it into something a little bit more combat oriented. And there's a lot of different ways to do this, of course, depending kind of on your like general scheme. But the first thing we got to do is we got to think about the color on this thing, because right now it is very, very shiny, and it's not quite the right thing here. And of course, you can see I can put myself a big old red circles on either side. And like, again, painting wings is different than painting kind of stuff over here. Depending on what you're kind of doing here, you've got your paint tool, you've got your text tool, you've got your projection mode, depending on what you want to do. And again, you've got a bunch of different types of brushes here. So you could actually switch to this mode, just kind of do one of those things. Continuous mode, or we can choose the aspect and all that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab green here. And we're going to grab something that is a really, really bright green. I need something a little more dark. Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad. Let's go ahead and change the scale here. Come on. There we go. Hey, look at that. Go ahead and paint that all over my leading edge here. We're making this into an army plane now. Yes, it's incredibly ugly. There we are. Of course, you're like, why don't you spend all this time to go ahead and like improve upon the, other things you've done here? That should make it much nicer. It's like, yeah, that's not the way I roll. All right, that looks good. Now it's green, which means it's now an army plane. Yeah, right. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab my wing real quickly here. And we've got a bunch of different options for material type here. We can actually have some fun with this. You can do some fun, like I could do some sci-fi materials and stuff like that. And of course, we can come in here with this too. Let's go with nice high saturation like that. We're going to bring the brightness down. Oh, that hurts my eyeballs. Can I copy it from here? No, I don't know. Yeah, I can copy paste. Can I copy that? Ooh, I don't want to make it glass. That'd be embarrassing. But of course, like I said, there's a lot of fun things you can do here and get a pretty serious saturation. Kind of pull some of the color out of it. It's a brightness issue, but it's the pattern that's too bright. Let's go back to default here. I like that. I like that. I can work with that. I can work with that. If I go to paint all, it's going to say paint all and press apply. And you can see now my entire aircraft is now the same ugly color here. Quitting. Ha! Nice. So now what we have to do, of course, is that we have to modify it to be more military capable here. So previously what we had is we had a pair of these kind of high bypass engines, and they're fantastic engines, and I actually went back and tweaked them a little bit to make them a little bit, just a little bit more realistic, if that makes sense, but nothing too crazy. And of course, we're going to change these things out for something that's got a little bit more get up and go, because we're going to need some real capacity here. My initial instinct, of course, when I did this was to go ahead and say, well, I could probably just throw an afterburner on it, be that, but I'm not going to do that. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy, and I'm just going to add another one. And the reason I'm going to do that is because I've already done all the work for the engine itself, so there's no reason why I can't just take all that hard work and just slam another one on there. One thing that you want to do, though, is when you do this, is you have to actually go back and fix my boo-boo from earlier here, where when I placed this sucker, I placed it at like a funky kind of angle here, which is, oh, that's the leading edge. I don't want that. I want this. There we go. We have to actually uncrank it to 5 degrees that we cranked it previously. Let's see here. Is that it's going to be an extra 5 degrees. There we go. So if I look at it from the front, that went straight, and yeah, it looks actually pretty good. Let's see here. Yeah, I got to bring that up just a tiny bit. Oh, yes. Yes, there we go. Okay, this thing's not going to be fantastic. All right, that's cool. And I hate the fact that this is a totally different emissivity than the rest of the aircraft, but like, I'm not going to deal with it. Actually, one thing I will deal with it. While I'm at it, let's grab the paint bucket again here. We'll go to blue. Blue looks pretty good. Let me have a circle. Let me have a nice small circle like that. And let's see here, projection, that's way too small. Let's make this like a size 1 or something like that. I wish it was a kind of a hard circle there. Cool, so that way people know that I belong to the Blue Air Force here. So let's go ahead and click right there like that. And of course, if I wanted to be lazy, one of the things you could do is you can go to half scale, roughly. Grab this, I'm gonna grab, I don't know, go grab green or something. We already have green. Let's grab red, go right into the middle like that, boop. And now you can see that I'm roughly a British airplane here. Let's make this a little bit bigger. Of course, if you want to be dumb, you could try to like sit here and like paint it. Good enough. Yeah, good enough. It looks more official that way, okay? All right, so now we're going to go ahead and equip this thing with some stuff. But before we do that, we should probably test it to make sure it actually flies. Oh my gosh, does this thing move? So a couple little things are different now. One thing I notice, of course, is now that we've added more engines to it, it doesn't take much to get in the air. It just goes. We are definitely a lot heavier than we used to be. Let's go to controls here. We'll go ahead and get rid of the flaps. Give it a little tap of pitch up trim. There we go. And we're cruising. Oh, no. I painted over the windows. Well, it's just going to stay that way, and we're going to assume it's some kind of a nuclear bomber variation. So we have a pretty strong aircraft now. Our thrust-to-weight ratio is a lot stronger than it used to be. We're getting a 143 here. What do we get from thrust? Drag. Thrust is 139. Thrust-to-weight is half, so we've doubled our thrust-to-weight ratio. So as you can tell from this climb out, we're moving. We're moving. So I like that. I like that. One thing I will have to do, though, is come in here and actually fix that real fast. There we go. Now I've got green glass. Close enough. Close enough. All right, let's go ahead and add in some equipment to this aircraft here. Now, we're going to need some, but nothing too extreme here. So let's go ahead and see what we have here. Power. Power's pretty good. I'll need to change any of this. Inlets. We get fancy with all that stuff. Propellers. Nah. Landing gear. I'm happy with them. And weapons. Plenty of weapons here. We also have joints and stuff like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab myself a battery, a beacon light here, just so people can know that we're in the sky. Go ahead and toss that there. Everybody's got kind of a different opinion on where this thing goes. There's only one right spot for it. If you get this kind of thing where you can't get it down, all you got to do is place it somewhere, and then we can actually re-rotate it, which is one of the kind of handy things here. So see how this is like kind of goofy? So what I can do is go to 0. I can go to 0, which kind of sets it. And it also has this like a really strong Z rotation. If you set that to 0, you can actually come in here and you can rotate it yourself. So if I do -90, for example, you can see that that sticks it up nicely. So now I can put myself my little kind of tail blinky light here. Looks pretty good right there. Response speed, units per second. This I can do preview. And you can see it's kind of white, which is a little strange. That shouldn't be that color. It should be red. That would be the correct. You can also change how powerful it is if you want to be like this person. But yeah, we'll set this like power 100 kind of a thing like that. Yeah, it looks pretty good to me. And interval. And one's interval is perfectly fine. All right, cool. So now we've got ourselves a little beacon light. That's a critical component of this airplane. Without it, we couldn't fly. Not really. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and grab ourselves a navigation light. Now I'm going to toss this on the side. That looks pretty good to me. This side, of course, would be the color green. Makes it nice and simple. Go ahead and pull that one back, turn it on. It should be green. Fantastic. The one on the other side, of course, since we did not have symmetry turned on like a newbie, if this ever happens to you, by the way, an easy way to fix it is if you go to grab mode, you can actually turn symmetry back on, and then you can actually click back on the aircraft like this, and then you'll see now that it has one on the other side as well. So if I actually click on that one, I can actually come in here and dial this into a different color. So now we have our red and we have our green. You can see that that's good to go. You know, those lights are a critical component. Without that, we'd be busted. So let's go ahead and toss in our landing lights as well. We can, again, a couple different variations in this. We're going to do spotlights. I'm going to make sure symmetry is on. That's going to come right in the wing root like this. This is going to be my big old passion landing lights here. Go ahead and grab that, pull that in like that. We'll preview that real fast. Like I said, I don't think we have any of those. Looks pretty good to me. Got one of those on both sides. I could probably shrink it down just a little bit to kind of make it a little bit better, but like I said, that's fine. You know, that's basically going to act as our little landing lights there. Cool. So now we're slightly more legal. Let's go ahead and grab ourselves some extra components here. A little static wicks on the wingtips. I like that you can put a little solar panel on it. Kind of interesting, I guess I would say. I don't know. So what I'm going to do now is grab my little radar warning receiver. This one's, for some reason, very large. I don't know what the deal with that is. They usually are mounted all around the aircraft itself. So click right there, switch to my movement tool. Go ahead and grab it real fast. And all I'm going to do is center it a little bit to make it a little bit better. Whoopsies. So I can just grab that real quickly. I can just put it right there. I think it's meant to be upside down. Let me just take a quick look here. Yeah, it's definitely meant to be upside down. So we can just take our local rotation, do a 180 on it. I had 50-50 shot of getting it right. I like that. That's pretty good. I have a little radar warning receiver right here. Cool. So that'll, again, let us know if anybody's shooting missiles at us or anything like that. Let's go into here. Pitot probe. We probably should have added that earlier or something like that. But, oh well. So we'll go ahead and toss that on the side like everybody does. Let's go grab this real quickly here. Click on that one. That rotation is going to make me slightly insane. So let's go ahead and make it so it looks a little bit more realistic there. Cool. One thing we can do to it too is we can actually come here and make it a lot darker. Brightness. There we go. Cool. So now it's just sort of chilling out the side there. So it looks slightly better. Okay, so we're good on that stuff. We now need to consider our armaments. And obviously armament is a big deal because you need a place to put it. So a couple different philosophies, I guess. So we could put some turrets on here. Basically ejector racks, triple ejector racks is a turret. There's a DIR and stuff like that. We could also put a bunch of bombs in the middle. We could put bombs inside, and let's do a little bit of column all. So I'm going to go ahead and head over to my weapons real quickly here. We've got AGM-65s, which are basically Mavericks. So we have hard points, which are really, really cool. I like the hard points because if you turn symmetry on, we can just mount a bunch of these. You can obviously mount the hard points in all sorts of different places. And you can see it does not like the one on the other side. It has a lot to do with the rotation here. All right, let's see where we're going to mount this to here. I'll go underneath my wing. It's probably going to be between the engines, which is a little absurd in my opinion, but it is what it is. All right, that is a goofy angle. Let's go ahead and fix that real quickly here. I think it's going to be, what is that, 145, 140? That looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and grab ourselves our little move it around tool. Drag that sucker down like that. Okie dokie, that's better. Drag it, too much. That looks pretty good. Unfortunately, there's no tab here, so I have to be careful of this. Release key. I'm going to press B, which is probably also the symmetry key. Perfectly fine for me. So on the bottom of that, we're going to go ahead and attach some good stuff here. Unfortunately, we don't have any straight bombs, which is, you could build your own, but I'm not going to worry about that too much here. Drum magazine, we'll do an AGM-65 here and kind of just slam that on there. Like that looks pretty good to me. I'm not loving the fact the AGM-65 is like basically stuck. It just needs to be coming into the top there. Remember, this thing is mounted to the hard points, and that looks pretty good to me. Nice. I like that. I can work with that. All right, let's go test it out real quick and see what happens when we actually try to fly it. All right, here we go again. Whew, this thing is, it's got some pickup. There we go. Very nice. Very nice. There we go. Probably would be smart at my point if we did something like, I don't know, programming the lights to actually turn on. I love how well balanced this plane is. Like, this is one of the few times I actually did something well. All right, so theoretically, I should be able to press the B key. There it goes! You know what the problem is? I just sort of just dropped it. What's it gonna do? If I didn't know any better, I'd say it's just kind of flying. Interesting. I'm not unarmed. I'm very well armed, thank you. So the problem with our little hard point button here is I only programmed it on one side, so I very casually just deposited that little thing over there. So I'm guessing hard points could be more for things like external fuel tanks and stuff like that. What a bummer. Let's head back over here. So that kind of worked. It didn't work as well as I wanted it to, sadly. So let's go ahead and delete this whole affair here. Oh well. Let's go ahead and grab ourselves just a straight up Maverick here and see what happens when we go to do that. So AGM-65. This looks embarrassing, but again, people do it different ways. You could probably put 10 of these like at the bottom and see what happens. All right, we're going to cheat a lot here. I'm just going to put it like that. All right, let's give it a spin. All right, we are on the way. I love these crosswinds. Whew! They definitely do not make it easy for us. All right, we are theoretically unarmed. We have chaff and flare kind of thing like that. So we have all sorts of good stuff down here at the bottom. Let's see, weapons. We have the AGM-65. I can click on that. I can click on that. It is now selected. There's an air-to-ground missile. And you can see that I've got basically nothing locked onto it. Apparently, it's facing backwards. Oh, no. It's facing forward. I take it back. So the idea here is we would have to lock onto something on the ground and basically take a shot at it. But at least we're getting targeting on it, so it's doing a little bit better. But I still think we need to play some more. All right. So it looks like we can carry a few of these things. So that's cool, but I'm feeling a little weird. Let's feel a little weird here. So I'm going to go to weapons real quick and grab a gun. And that looks like a kind of a fun gun. I'm going to mount that right on the wing here. Of course, the gases would get ingested directly into the engine. It would stop working. So I guess we're going to have to theoretically be a little bit more polite about it and put it like right here-ish. Because again, in the real world, we couldn't do things like that. So we'll assume that it's going to have a little wing or something holding it up. But like I said, we'll keep it pretty small for now. All right, so it's 30 millimeter. We're going right up to 32 because science. Let's see, that thing has pretty big barrels. We'll go up to 8 barrels here. Oh, yes. Muzzle velocity, we're going to go ahead and increase the muzzle velocity here. Actually, that's a little excessive. And we'll do tracers. We'll make it a laser gun. So 6,000 rounds a minute should do it. So now we just need ammunition supply in this thing. And it's going to take a little bit of ammo, especially if I do something that absurd. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and shut off symmetry for a second here. Actually, what I could do is I could just twist one of these. And we have an ammo drum magazine option. And we've got to be careful with this because we've got to keep it somewhere near the center of gravity here. So I'm going to go ahead and place it right. I'm just looking where the center of gravity is. I'm going to put it basically right here like that. So it's going to be our giant 32 millimeter rounds, and it's going to be 20 rows. It's quite a few rounds. And keep in mind, this is per side. So I have 2 of these. So let's go ahead and gently shove this inside. I mean, we could have them sticking out a little bit like that if we wanted. And of course, what I'm going to do, because again, I'm not a good person, let's go ahead and shrink that inside just a little bit. That looks good to me. So I'm actually going to duplicate this. And we're going to take the other one, and we're just going to stick the other one basically right below it. Again, like I said, we get a little more precise with the placements here if we wanted to. But it's going to work perfectly fine. And that looks pretty good. Those are really, really big ammo drums. What did that do to our poor airplane here? What are we at? 33 tons now? Thrust has come down a little bit, and so is our fuel. But can't wait to try this. All right, we are on our way one more time. I can actually look at the front windshield now. Whee! I still feel like this thing needs a little bit more get up and go, but that's just me. All right, weapons, arm, cool. All right, so now we can actually shoot these things. Figured that part out. Wheels up, fire. Woo! Woo! Look at it go. Look at it go. Look at it go. Oh, no! Nice. But that's not what you're here to see. You're here to see. Oh, my gosh, I lost part of my wingtip with that. Surprise battle damage. All right, let's have some fun. Ready, fire the cannon. Oh, my gosh. Did you see that? Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Look what it does to the ground. Well, that's a little extreme. So I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. I'm good. Oh my gosh, look at the G's I can pull with this thing. This is so wrong. I'll have to put some fly-by-wire on it, like limit it to 3 Gs or something to be a little more realistic. All right, here we go. Starting my attack run. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it to death. Oh, yeah, see what I was talking about, the smoke inhalation or the smoke ingestion? So one of the funny things you can do in this game, among other things, is we can change the length of the barrel. And I know what you're thinking. I know you're like, why would you change the length of the barrel? Because if you change the length of the barrel, you change how accurate the weapon is. So let me go to a half-meter barrel. All right, this will put a smile on your face. All right, so we're going to have a new problem. And that's probably going to end up massively, massively, massively overheating our barrels here. But that's okay. Nah, it's still pretty accurate. Of course, his barrels would be absolutely glowing right now. Ooh, broke one. Ah, I killed both of them. Probably still have ammo left in the drums. That's the worst part. But yeah, I destroyed the 2 barrels. Ah, oh well. So one of the cool things too is when you're fiddling with all this stuff is if we wanted to go with something like a little more old school. So if I want like a 3 meter, right now we're at 6,000 rounds per minute. If I wanted to, I could go drop this down to like something a little more reasonable. So if I did, let's say 600 kind of a thing and drop this down to like, if I want to go an old school revolver cannon, I could do like a 2 barrel or even like a single barrel here. And what you can do is you can, again, get pretty accurate based on like a real world gun or something like that, if you know you're doing a certain like caliber or something like that. So that's a lot more reasonable of a weapon. Now, if I take this thing and I shove it into the wing root here, got to be kind of careful though. When you do stick things in the wing root, you can do what I just did, which is to accidentally shoot off your own landing light, which is, it seems par for the course for me. Let's go ahead and stick that right there like that. That's not bad. Let's see if that looks a little bit more normal. V1, rotate. V2, you're up. All right, on our way. So let's see what it's like with something a little more reasonable. Oh, I like that much better. Apparently I set the tracer wrong on one side and not on the other side. I don't know how I did that, but that looks like something I would normally do. Yeah, I like that. That's not bad at all. I can work with that. It's, again, you don't have that blistering rate of fire that we had before, which is, I don't know, slightly more reasonable to my mind. All right, let's go ahead and get something to shoot at here. Tank sounds good. Enemy tank spawns. Now, the hard thing, of course, is to actually locate the tank. Fortunately, I can just kind of look around. Let's see, where's our tank? Our tank is 32 kilometers in that direction. Okay, don't worry, I'll skip trip. I'm starting my attack run now. All right, here we go. Stay on target. Stay on target. Easy. One away. no idea where that went. So we'll lock up the other one. One away. All right. Now we got to use the cannon. Oh, that didn't work. I have no idea where this went. Let's hope they don't like come back and hit me or something like that. Oh well. Let's do it. Oh boy. Definitely not supposed to be doing it this way. I think I hit everything but the tank at this point. Yeah, because that would happen. All right, so not bad, not bad. It kind of works, kind of works. Cannons are definitely not symmetrical for whatever reason, because for some reason these two got changed, which surprises me, because that's 1300. That's, oh, for some reason, I think it was the tracers that didn't synchronize properly. That's not bad. All right, that means I got a nice little steady stream of those. Again, 25 millimeter would probably be a little bit better. All right, not bad, not bad. Getting pretty good, getting pretty good. I guess the only thing really left to add to my little thing is a little bit of self-defense capability. So let's go to weapons real quickly here, and we'll go ahead and add an IR missile because, you know, science. So let's go ahead and, on this one, why not? So we'll throw a wingtip mounted Sidewinder here. Again, this is pretty obvious, an older generation of Sidewinder, but again, I'm not complaining at all. We could go in and add all the hard points and stuff, but that's all that like fiddly stuff takes a very, very long time, trust me. There we go, 55 degrees. That looks pretty good to me. And we got ourselves a little Sidewinders kind of chilling. It's an adder, I'm sorry. It says right on the side, it's an adder 9M. My bad, my bad. All right, so that looks pretty good to me. And the only other thing I saw when I was just poking through, I think this is something they added later, is they can add a little iris pod on this thing, which is kind of cool. So just put that right on the nose, because, you know, science. All right, let's go ahead and throw that there like that. 0, 0, enter. Oh, that was not the 0, 0 I wanted. Bonk.
Hey guys, do I have something on my nose?
There, it looks pretty good to me. Thoop. Nice. Now he's got a little kind of pod. He looks like kind of like a dog thing. All right, so the only thing left to try now is air to air. Let's see what happens. All right, let's do it. So we have ourselves a target drone, and I'm just going to do a nice tight circle. As if I could turn with an airplane like this. Oh, I don't judge. I don't judge. This stuff is so much fun. You know it. Oh, I run out of energy. And there we have it. We have ourselves a lock. All right. Fox 1. Looks good. Looks good. Clean. 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 I think that was a little ambitious. Smoked you with an airliner. Yeah, take that. You'll get more of the same. All right, let's go ahead and throw in another target drone here. All right, here. What do we got? What do we got? There he is. He's right over there. All right. I don't think we're going to be able to get him with cannons, but we'll try. We'll try. Oh, yeah. This is going to be an exercise and challenge. I wonder if we can hit him with the other gun. Oh, my God. He's got a speed advantage on us. Oh, yeah. This is definitely the wrong airplane for this. But one thing I will do real quickly here is I'll give myself a little bit of pitch trim. I don't need much. This is one of the most beautifully stable planes I think I've ever designed. Give myself a little bit of rudder here. Looks pretty good to me. And this guy is just running. I don't think I'll be able to catch up to him, which is kind of a shame. Got a chaffing flares and all that other good stuff. Yeah, I hate to say it, but I just don't have the speed advantage that I'm going to need to be able to actually sneak up on this guy. I think he just started turning into me like that. Let's see if we can get a little closer. All right, we've been reeling him in for like 5-10 minutes now. Trying to get close. We are definitely not a fighter, but definitely have some capabilities here. Now, my biggest mistake here is, like I said, you can't really see out the front windshield. So we're going to have to kind of, I don't know, World War II this sucker as far as visibility goes. But we'll make the best of it, because that's what we're here to do. Oh, yeah, this ain't got to go well for us. Oh, yeah, this ain't gotta go well at all. Oh my God, my roll rate is not terribly good. Oh, yeah, this ain't gotta go well. All right, not bad, not bad. Now, kind of what I expected. Now, of course, if we add an enemy SAM, that's gotta be interesting for us. Oh my God, I'm blacking out in an airliner. Okay, now I've seen everything. And of course, there's an enemy Sam. It's like, oh my gosh, yeah, completely depleted. Well, let's go fly over there and see what awfulness will come to us. All right, we're about 17 kilometers from the enemy SAM site, and I don't really think this is going to go great for us. But hey, that's what we're here to find out, kind of a thing. Now, my guess is, and again, it's not like, oh, I can zoom in a little bit. I'm guessing he's going to be in the valley. I don't think he's actually on top of that. So the reason he hasn't taken us out of the sky yet is because he's probably right on the other side of that. So that means for us, the smarter thing to do would actually be to come around and come up the valley this way so that we can duck out to hit him. But we're not trying to be smart. We're trying to be effective here. We're trying to test it, see if it works. Ooh, 10 kilometers is not very far. Oh boy. This is going to go poorly for us, isn't it? We're about to lose a wing. It's going to happen. And one of the things I'm a little disappointed at is my speed. It's not that it's bad, but it could be better. It could be better. And I think we have too much drag. We'd have to redesign the wing with a little more sweep. All right, here we go. The problem is I'm not going to be able to hit it because it's going to be the inside of the mountain here. And of course, that's bad for us. I actually see it as I go by, though. That's the real question. So then I can come back around. Oh, yeah, that was never going to happen. Got to take a shot at us. Oh, we got it! Nice. Look at that. Not bad at all. All right, so this was a super fun little experiment to basically kind of play around and fly out again. Basically take our really, really good plane and make it not that good. There's a lot of silly things we could do to this thing to make it better, but I kind of like it the way it is. But other than that, enjoy.